What's up, guys? Good morning, good morning. Good morning, good morning. Let's check the markets real quick. Oh, hold on, guys. Let me exit out of this 1 second while I exit TradingView real quick. Because something is lagging on my end. 1 second, guys. Alright, so let's see what we got going here. Why is everything lagging so much? Hold on 1 second, guys. Oh, there we go. Okay. Alright, so today is FOMC. So I'm going to be live streaming in the Discord later on today. But for now, we're going to see if we have any areas of confluence we're looking for, anything that we could be using for potential moves today. FOMC starts at 2 p.m. Eastern, so 11 o'clock my time will start, and we'll go from there. Oh, 1 second. Come on, Lou. No wonder. Wow. Sorry guys, you couldn't hear anything I was saying? Bro, Shiloh phone, why didn't you tell me? My goodness. I was talking that whole time and nobody heard anything I said. Okay, let me look at CrowdStrike quick. Wow, this is printing. Thank you, Kay, for letting me know that. Okay, one thing I will say, guys, and I know this is very risky, okay, for those of you um, who are looking for a pretty good RR short, I think that gold is setting up for a potential short here. I mean, look at this. We traded perfectly into the 4-hour inversion and we got a huge dump, and now we're trading back up into this imbalance. We've inversed all of these fair value gaps. I think this gap is coming here, so I'm actually going to be opening a short swing on gold with my stop up here around 317, and I'm going to be targeting this gap and this gap. I know it sounds crazy. A lot of people are like, oh my goodness, how could we be shorting gold? But I'm telling you guys right now, these are very, very strong magnets for price. If we can hold this, if you even want to wait for a better entry, if we can trade up into here and then get some kind of another inversion, you can target all these areas of price. So do not be worried. I mean, I wouldn't say do not be worried, but do not be surprised if gold ends up trading into this bearish fair value gap. And then we end up getting a very nice short within here to go lower. So yeah, that's pretty much what I wanted to say about gold. And yeah. Kay, do you still have your gold position? Do 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 do. So yeah, guys, I'm not going to be taking anything. I've said this yesterday, and I'll say it again. I'm not going to be taking anything until I see this 50% level touch into. And my guess is that that's actually going to happen today, which is going to bring us down to a very important spot on QQQ and on the NASDAQ itself, the futures market. But even below this low, guys, we have a very important quarterly level resting down here. So I think what's going to happen with FOMC is maybe we even manipulate higher, and then we're going to target this 50% today. So if we do get a setup during FOMC, like a really nice short, let's say we manipulate higher, tag these equal highs, tag this buy side liquidity, and then get a very strong reversal, I'm going to be looking for a big trade. So this could be potentially, if we do get it, this could be a 340 point downsize move today for FOMC. So we're going to book some nice profits if we get that. Now, if we end up just consolidating or trading down into this before FOMC, which I think is unlikely, then we'll get a long setup and we'll target these equal highs. That's what my objective would be. So we'll see what we get. I'm super excited for it. But again, guys, that is going to be in the Discord. Okay, so I'm going to set an alert for myself on gold once we trade into this 1 hour gap. Okay, let's delete this quick, actually. And then we will add it again. What's up, Charlie? Good morning, sir. So I was just telling everybody about a short that I'm looking for on gold, which I said I would keep private normally, but there's only 4 of you in here, I think, so. But I'm thinking with gold, guys, that we're going to trade again. We've rejected from this 4 hour gap perfectly. And I think that once we trade into this hourly, if we can get an inversion on the lower time frames, like maybe the 5 or 15 minute from within here, I'm going to look to target this and this gap on gold. I think we're going to see a sell-off. So we'll see what we get with that. Nike's up 2%. Nice to see for my portfolios. But yeah, what I'm going to do, guys, again, is for today's session, we're just going to have a quick live stream until maybe 10:50. I'll take some scalps if I see anything A+, and then the FOMC stream is going to be in the Discord. So make sure if you guys are in here that you're liking the stream. Really helps the algos, guys. But yeah, we should get a really nice trade in the afternoon session down to the 50% level of this whole leg of price, right? So if we do get a trade up, for example, into FOMC and we trade above these equal highs, I'm going to look for a short to target that 50%. Or if we come down first and tag the 50%, maybe there's a little new week opening gap here as well. If we tag this, we can even look for a long setup later in the day to target these equal highs. So I am excited for that. I hope that we get it. But stay tuned, guys. At 11 o'clock Pacific, 2 p.m. Eastern is when we're going to do that live stream. Hey, hey, hey. Goodbye. Do-do-do-do. Do-do-do-do. Hey, hey, hey. Goodbye. Da-da-da-da. Da-da-da-da. Hey, hey, hey. Goodbye. Do-do-do-do. Do-do-do. Do-dee-dum. Dee-dee-dum-dum. Na-na-na-na. Do-do-do. Do-do-do. Hey, 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 goodbye. Da-da-da-da, da-da-da-da. Hey, 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 goodbye. We should push higher here, guys. I mean, I think we're going to come up and rebalance this 1 minute. We'll see how we get there, but I mean, I'm not going to be taking anything, guys. I think the real move is going to happen during FOMC. Maybe we'll take some scalps, but I doubt it. We'll see what happens. But if you guys really want to be disciplined, now is not the time to be taking a setup. So again, I think that we're going to come up and rebalance this little 1 minute right here. If you guys want to take a scalp up here, you're welcome to. I don't suggest it, but you can if you want. And there it is. We touched into it right there. So there's a scalp if you wanted it. Again, I'm not suggesting you guys do these things because I prefer to take the AAA plus setups, but sometimes if you want to build a cushion for your portfolios or for your trading accounts, there are very high probability signatures in price. For example, in this case, we inversed this bearish fair value gap right here on this candle. So if we inverse a bearish fair value gap and we have a SIBI above us, so in this case, this is a little SIBI right here, right? An unbalanced price range. This was your entry for the long, stop to break even here, targeting this imbalance. And then you could leave runners to this high. But when we get inversions to the, after sweeping liquidity, if we get inversions to the upside, then your next target should be the next obvious PD array, which in this case is this 1 minute fair value gap, which is unbalanced. So that's why this entry would have been a nice long up to here. Now, on an FOMC day especially, targeting the buy side liquidity is a more difficult task, but the higher probability place to take off your position is in the PD array right before the imbalance, right before the liquidity, sorry. So this is a good scalp in my opinion. Boom to there. 1 to 1 you could even mark if you wanted to. But I do think that we are going to get a dump today. And I think it's going to be pretty large, and I think it's going to come down to here. So keep your eyes peeled, guys. Again, the FOMC meeting is going to be in the Discord. I'm going to live stream it in the Discord. But I think we're going to get a sizable move down to here, and then hopefully a long setup. But if we do manipulate first and come up above all this liquidity up here, there's a lot of like relative equal highs right here of the London session. I think that is actually going to be the driver to dump us for the afternoon session. So two scenarios that I see playing out. All right, 3-4 likes, 5 people watching. That's good enough. I'll allow that ratio. Anybody in here take any trades? Did anyone take this 1 minute long up to this fair value gap here? Again, these are very tiny scalps, but if you guys want to, like I said, if you want to build a little cushion for your portfolio before, or for your trading account before FOMC, just to mitigate some of the losses you might take, not a terrible idea, but just not an amazing idea, in my opinion. And again, another reason, guys, that I think that we're probably going to move higher, hopefully we just do this. We sweep these and then go lower today. 0 trades. Good job, Charlie. This is all low resistance liquidity. I think eventually we're going to push through all of this. And again, the objective for that, I told you guys that the month of April formed this massive monthly fair value gap. So the objective here is for us to sweep this buy side right here, trade into this 4-hour fair value gap, and then maybe reject from there. But this is my higher time frame targets for the next few days and weeks. Maybe we have a massive FOMC. Doubtful that it's going to be big enough to come all the way up here. But again, you guys can see this is the buy side, and then this is that 4-hour fair value gap. So I want to see all this LRLR get swept. Hopefully we manipulate down, sweep this sell side right here. I'm hoping this happens today, guys. Sweep the sell side, trade below the 50%, and get a nice long setup to go higher. But if we do end up manipulating up here, sweeping these equal highs and tagging this first, I'm going to look for a short later today. And that is going to be a massive move if we get it. So if we do get a short from here, that's 332 points. That's pretty good. So that's my objective. one of those two scenarios playing out. Again, there's not really much else to talk about, guys, because we're not going to see any massive moves most likely until FOMC. And again, that is going to be in the Discord. Let's see what's going on X quick. Whew. Who's excited for FOMC? I think FOMC is my favorite day. FOMC and like probably GDP in the morning when we get our data candle setups, but if you know how to trade FOMC correctly, guys, you can literally catch some of the biggest moves you'll catch in your life. And I have a technique that I use. I'm gonna keep it a proprietary blend of things that help me with some confluence. And there's two levels that I see. All right, let me see if I can find out where these are for you. So I'm gonna go to the hourly chart. I'm gonna show you guys two levels. So number one is this buy side right here. So I'm gonna mark this out. And number two is not actually liquidity, but it's right below liquidity and actually pairs up pretty perfectly with this hourly fair value gap. But if you notice right here, there is a imbalance. So we have, this is the hourly fair value gap from here to here, right? We came down and we swept a lot of this hourly fair value gap. We filled most of it, but if you notice, we still have a tiny imbalance right here. We came down and filled almost all of this fair value gap, but we have a little bit left. So this right here immediately draws my attention. And it also pairs with this sell side liquidity. And it pairs with that 50% level of the hourly leg, which again, guys, if you are not paying attention, from low to high, 50% is right here. So these two levels draw my attention. This pocket of price between the 50% and this hourly fair value gap that's unfilled, and then this buy side liquidity. So one of these two I think is going to hit today. And maybe both. But if we end up getting this first, we're going to get a really nice setup up to this one, in my opinion. And these equal highs will be where I take my first profits. If we come up and sweep this, we don't have to touch this one, but if we do, it'll be even better. And then if we come down and form an inversion fair value gap setup, then I'm going to be looking for a short down to here. But yeah, not going to tell you guys why these two levels. I mean, I told you logistically why they are areas I'm looking at, but there's another reason for that, another area of confluence that I can't explain in just this video. Okay, so if you guys are looking for another long, if we do inverse this, you can try a scalp up to this buy side. I think that will do you fine as well. But we do have a tiny volume imbalance right above this, so just be warned. But if we do close above the volume imbalance and the 1 minute, then we should definitely come up and hit this buy side, and then maybe even trade up into this 5 minute gap. Maybe like up here in this pocket of price, maybe touch the new week opening gap. So if this inverses, guys, your objectives would be this internal buy side and then this new week opening gap low. All right, so sorry guys, I'm just doing something. If this 1 minute inverses and the volume imbalance inverses, then you can do a quick 1-to-1 RR trade. Or not even a 1-to-1. It's probably going to be closer to like a 0.7 to 1. But you can target this buy side, and then the new week opening gap, like I said already, is right above it. So I'll actually label this real quick without a magnet tool, just so you can see it visually on the 1 minute chart. But I think that these two levels are in play here. So we can scalp it if you guys want. Whoops. Without a magnet? Oh. Sorry, Tristan. I should have done the magnet. You're right. Silly me, huh? Okay, so watch for the 1 minute close above. I longed 5 micros off the close above the 945 5-minute candle. 945 5-minute candle. Okay, that's not a bad trade, I guess. That's not my model, but I did talk about taking this long setup up to this imbalance. Guys, come on, y'all. 8 people watching and 4 likes. 50% of you are not liking the chat, liking the stream. That is disrespectful. All right, this might be where we get it. So we can take a quick scalp, targeting the new week opening gap. Let's see if we get it, guys. And I'll probably be off at like 11:10, and then again, guys, at 2 p.m. Eastern, that is when we will be doing the live stream in the Discord for FOMC. That's when I'm actually going to take a sizable trade if we get a setup. Let me hold on 1 second. Yes, Tristan, I just talked about gold in the stream. So if you guys want access to the live trading in the Discord, you guys can join there with that link. But I do think that gold is getting ready for a very nice short setup. Contrary to people screaming through the rooftops that it's going to nonstop keep going higher here. You guys can rewind the tape if you want to hear me talking about gold. Yeah, it is very overextended, and there are some very strong magnets for price, some gaps on the daily and the 4-hour chart that I'm looking at. Almost felt like the algo buying is, yeah, something is up with gold. I think, and again, I could be wrong here, but I think that eventually I don't think gold is going anywhere in the short term. I think it's going to be always going to be a store of value until we have space. Uh, if we have like space vehicles mining for gold on like asteroids. But until that point, I think it'll always be a store of value for people that are old school. But I think you're going to see a big market cap of gold going towards Bitcoin and gold shifting down. That's my thesis, but we'll see what happens over the midterm. But that's nothing to do with why I'm looking at this short. The reason I'm looking at this short is that we have this massive set of imbalances on the 4 hour. We just made all-time highs, and we're rejecting perfectly from that 4 hour fair value gap. And we're getting a big shift here in structure. My thesis, and again, I set my alerts here for this hourly imbalance. Maybe we don't even get into it. If we don't, I won't take the short. But I think we're going to get some kind of a beautiful short from within here. If we trade up into it, we'll get some kind of a 5 or 15-minute inversion to the downside. And my target is going to be this gap and then this gap right here. And then ultimately, that final target will be the sell side liquidity down at the 295 level. But if we don't get the trade up into here and we just come down and tap into this gap, I would be less inclined to take this short. But if we come up here first, then I'll be able to move my stop to break even once this gap hits. I'll partial in here, move my stops to break even, and then target this gap and sell side liquidity on the hourly. So that's going to be pretty nice. Imagine the US is doing all this terror stuff and is going to reveal after that Elon's been mining resources in space. Could be. Remember what Trump said? He's like, we have technologies that no one has ever seen before, manipulating time and space. Remember he said that? That was not a good Trump impression at all. But who knows? Who knows what they have? Oh, sorry, it wasn't Trump. It was somebody in his defense department, I think, that talked about it. Okay, big pump here. Again, guys, if we get a close above the volume imbalance, I think this is coming. We could even scalp this if there's enough time. So TP here, and then the new week opening gap would be the second TP. Could do like a 1-for-1 with your stop loss down here. It's not quite a 1-for-1, but... Oh, we never even closed above. That's not good. But I think this is probably going to come up and hit this now. We'll see. Do 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 do. Oh, there is the close above, by the way, guys. So you don't want to see it close back below this, but we could just consolidate before going higher. Do 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 do. So the stop technically is going to be a 1-minute close back below this. You got just a few seconds till the close. Okay, so no stop loss there. Did we tag into this? Oh, there is a tiny 1 minute imbalance right here that I'm not a huge fan of, but that's fine. Which we rejected from pretty cleanly. I would hope that this just pushes past this and we sweep that and then touch into the new week opening gap. But we will see. Took off most of my position and have my stop at break even. I think that's smart. I mean, this was the real entry right here. And the target was this 1 minute imbalance, and you would hold runners up here. So we'd have to basically allow for this to trade down into all of this. But for the sake of this RR trade and at least cutting losses quickly, I guess we can keep it here at the mean threshold of this wick. But I'd rather just see this pump here. I don't want to see it trade back down into this wick. If I do, then we're probably going to come back and rebalance this fair value gap before going higher, in my opinion. So yeah, gold is starting to dump. But again, I want to see it trade into this hourly imbalance first before going short. If I do go short. Bum 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 bum. Okay, so I want to see this pump above this 1 minute fair value gap if we're going to get a real long setup. So if this ends up failing, I'm going to cut my loss quickly, obviously. But I'd like to see, if we're going to continue here, I want to see the mean threshold of this hold. So I'll remove this right below that. And there's a stop out. So obviously we rejected from that 1 minute gap before the highs. I still think this is going to come at some point, but that's just how the scalping works. Sometimes you get them, sometimes you don't. What could happen here is we could trade back and fill this inverse, like come to this low and then go higher later. But once this closes above, which it probably won't even give an entry, it'll come up, consolidate, and then pump right through it. That's my thinking, but we'll see what happens. And retesting that 5 minute OB as well. Yeah, if this ended up being a stop out candle, that's going to be annoying, but it is what it is. Yeah, this is going to pump here, guys. All right, so there's a little bit of a rebalance there, so that was a nice little recoup of some of the losses, but it's okay. And now I think this new week opening gap is probably next here. And then maybe we even trade up into these equal highs, possibly, but we'll see. I was going to say just hold it. It's trying to stop me for break even. And where was your entry was here? Or no, your entry was here, wasn't it? At that 5 minute close. So right there, 19937.25. 19924. Oh, okay, so you got in a little bit early. But this new week opening gap should hit. Very interesting that we rejected right before the new week opening gap. I still think the new week opening gap is coming. If you guys want to try and scalp this up, you're welcome to. I'm probably done scalping for now. I mean, look where we are on the daily chart as well. We have a potential bullish order block forming here, but we'd have to see a strong close above it to get a continuation. If we do close above this daily high, then the next day is going to come up to this 4 hour almost definitely, and rebalance the monthly high. I'm not sure what's been going on, but my trading view sometimes won't respond to an order. Um, I mean, sometimes that happens to me too, but only when I'm paper trading. But, you know, I have my fundeds and my evals next to me that I don't always show, but when I take trades on those, I don't have any issues, which is Top Step and Apex. Okay, so this should be the new week opening gap touch. What broker do you use, Tristan? I forgot what you'd said. Through Tradeovate, interesting. I've had that issue in the past, but recently, no. Guys, if you're watching the stream, make sure you like it. It's 10 people watching, 6 likes. That's a terrible ratio. It's 50%. There's a new week opening gap. And now from here, guys, I could care less what happens. Definitely no more scalping after this point. If we do inverse this 5-minute, though, then you guys could probably take a scalp up to the equal highs. Though I would be cautious because it is FOMC day. Sometimes they like to leave liquidity. So, and also this is a huge stop loss. But if we do close above this, and there's also a tiny one right above it. If we close above this, you can look for a rebalance into here and then target the equal highs afterwards. Okay, so from here, a possible rejection before going higher, but on the hourly, we're kind of trending. Do you think they will say the real move for FOMC? There's definitely going to be a move. I'll tell you that. What my thinking is, again, guys, I've said this before, but we have all these relative equal highs here on the hourly chart, and even on the 5-minute, but also on the hourly. It looks better on the 5 and the 15. I'm looking for London high and these equal highs to get swept, and then potentially a rejection. And I want to see the 50% of the hourly leg get swept. This is my objective for today. If we can get the manipulation here, trade up to London high, maybe rebalance any week opening gap, then I'm looking for rejection. The other possibility is that we go up to this hourly buy side and then reject. Less likely in my opinion, because that would be a massive move, but it's possible. But from here, I would like to see the trade back into the 50% of this hourly leg. This is where I'll be looking for real longs in the markets. We also have a new week opening gap right below it. It's very small. You can't really see it on this chart, but it's right here. So that would give us the allowance of trading down below the 50%. And then from here, maybe we can get a long. But yeah, so we'll see what happens. I think there's a potential for a rejection here. And then, yeah, we'll see what happens. But what I'm going to do, guys, is stay on until the 11:10 macro is over. We'll see if we end up sweeping these equal highs or not. And then, again, like I said, link is in the chat, in the comments, whatever. chat, I think it's called. But if you guys want to trade with me live in the Discord, you guys are welcome to click the link there. But the real trade that I think is going to happen will happen then. Disney's up 10%. So you guys can rewind the tape if you want to hear what I said about Disney and about Boeing. But I think those are going to be two really good plays. Ooh, Nike pumping here. I like to see this. This is off the potential China news. We have a large Nike position. I'm not going to reveal all the secrets there, but you guys know about it who are in the Discord. Ever seen the Stock Tiger guy streaming? No. Who's the Stock Tiger guy? Yeah, if Boeing ends up trading below this liquidity right here, I'm gonna be longing, guys. This is gonna be a good long trade, and I'm targeting 196 and 214.58. That's gonna be really nice. I'm potentially thinking about selling more puts on Enphase. I think this one has a potential to have a huge pump at some point. Damn. I'll have to look them up. Yeah, people, I just don't get it. Like, if you're so close to passing an eval, I would be very quick to cut my losses because I know when I'm wrong most of the time. Yeah, some people are wild, bro. So again, what I would pay attention to here, guys, and you can study this, but I'll tell you, there's about a 50% chance here that we target these equal highs. What are they again? They're perfectly equal. If you look on the 1 minute chart right here, look at this level right here, the H. If you look at this candle, it's at 20,007.50 cents, 20,007.50 cents right here. So perfect equal highs are magnets for price. I can almost guarantee you that these are going to get hit today with probably 99% certainty, 98%, 94.6532. These are going to get hit. So pay attention to this. 50-50 chance they leave them. Sometimes, and recently I've actually seen this, is that they actually do sweep the liquidity before FOMC. But if not, guys, honestly, let's just say, for example, we have a massive rejection here, okay? And these never get hit. If we end up sweeping this liquidity down here and we get a really nice 1 minute, 5 minute, 3 minute inversion, you could get a huge trade. Like we're talking 260, 300 points to target these equal highs. But if not, you can try your luck. If we get the 5 minute inversion, you can target these, which not a bad idea. Right now, we actually do have potential. So we're rejecting here from that new week opening gap. Like I said, we probably would. If you're long from here, guys, I would be partialing here, but you could hold your runners because these have a pretty decent chance of hitting before FOMC. So we'll see what happens with that. I am so excited for FOMC though today. I think it's going to be a big mover. I'm trying to see if there's anything that I can sell puts on today. I have a lot of premium sitting in my one of my trading accounts, and I want to sell puts on something, but I'm not sure what. Soon on Nike, I will be selling covered calls. We are very close to. So my buy level on my dollar cost average point on Nike is around 63. So once we push past my entry point, I will start selling some covered calls, but I think 77 is a very strong magnet for price. This is an obvious wick. I think this happened during earnings. In fact, it did. You can see the E right here. So I might sell like the 77 covered calls once we push past 63, so around like the 66 range. And that way I can collect some premium and potentially sell my shares for higher, but my ultimate target for Nike is around 109 to 120, 117. I think that's going to be really nice. They announced a potential park in Abu Dhabi from my last research, which is pretty bullish. But I think Disney is going to end up ultimately hitting 126. We have major buy side liquidity there. In fact, I think if you were long here, again, not suggesting you do it, but if you want to look for a swing trade like a 1-for-1 here, I think we're going to end up hitting this quite soon. This is not quite a 1-for-1, but oh. So somewhere around here. I would even do a 0.5, honestly, so make it a 2-for-1 RR. And again, 126, where does that come from? It's the major buy side here. So I would partial at these highs, and these highs. But I think that Disney has potentially bottomed here. That's my my thought process. Yeah, they're going for the oil money. That's right. By the way, guys, how's the quality on my stream? Do you see my charts clearly, or is it kind of blurry? Like, is it HD or is it meh? Is there like a 1080p option? Charlie says it looks clear because I'm looking on YouTube right now. I pulled it up, and for me, it only gives me up to 720p quality, and I'm looking at the stream. It's like semi-clear. It's not. It's not like HD. Kind of interesting. Oh, okay, that's good. So maybe it's just me. I don't know. All right. Well, as long as you guys see it in 1080, that's important. That's all that's important. It's just weird that maybe because it's my own stream, it doesn't give me the feature to change the stream quality. Okay, that's good. That's good. My 720 looks like ass. Not sure why. Okay, so Again, guys, we're likely to just stall in this range of price. Maybe we're coming down here to form an order block. There's also like a breaker here, so if we can come down and retest this, I think ultimately, I mean, gun to my head, I think we're going to trade down into this 5-minute inversion, and then we're going to come up and sweep these equal highs. Is that a setup a setup excuse? No, but I think if you have to say, if you're going to have to bet anything, which I don't suggest, there's no reason, you're not rushing or pressure to bet, but I think these equal highs are coming first. If we look at the 3-minute chart, this is kind of like that breaker block right here. Low, high, lower, low. So if you're looking for a potential area to long, between this breaker block, so like this green candle's high and then this order block right here, somewhere in this range of price, I think is a high probability area for us to move higher. Now we've already traded down into this breaker once, so I don't know if we're going to trade back into it, but gun to my head, anything in this general area of price would be a good area to long to target these equal highs. There's not really anything to trade here on the 30-second. No, not even on the 15. We don't have any really good inversions, to be honest. Rachel, good afternoon. Good to see you. I feel like it's been a minute since I've seen you in here. Rachel, how did I just was on YouTube. I saw that Tanya was streaming. How is she doing today? Did she take any trades yet? What the hell? All right. So I wanted to point this out too. Let's see how Bitcoin's doing. Ooh, Bitcoin pushing. Bitcoin pushing. I think Bitcoin is going to end up making new all-time highs very soon, but ultimately I think this is the draw. There's a pretty massive 4-hour SIBI here. I think it's also a daily if I'm not mistaken. No, it's just a 4-hour. We have traded into it once, but we still have a lot that's unbalanced here. But I think that's going to end up being a draw. So don't be surprised if we end up pushing here and you see 102 in the next few weeks or even few days. But one high risk, high reward play I'm looking at is Riot. This looks like a really nice kind of like inverse head and shoulders. And we have a lot of low resistance liquidity on this name. So do not be surprised if we end up seeing Riot trading around 24 relatively soon. We have an imbalance on the monthly chart. It's also a bearish order block here. So I think we are going to end up somehow. And here's another trade if you guys want. If we can close the monthly above this inversion. So if you see a monthly close in the month of May above $8.50 something cents, $8.52. That is a good long in my opinion. And you should get an incredible RR here. Whoa, what the heck? Wow. Look at that. That's a good risk to reward. Um, you can keep your stops below the low if you want, or if you want them tighter, you can keep it like below this candle's body. But I think that all of this is going to get targeted. This high, this high, this high, this high, this high, and then that monthly fair value gap is that ultimate target. Potentially a 9 to 1 RR trade. Pretty freaking nice. But yeah, we'll see what happens here, guys. But I don't see any imbalances that I would look to target. 1530. I just think this is coming down to create an OB, and then we're going to eventually trade higher here. But I think that's going to be... I'll stay on until the 1050 macro. Let's see if we get movement. Oh. Okay, so anywhere in this area of price, I don't see any... Ooh, this looks really good, actually. If this 2-minute inverses to the upside, I think this is going to be a pretty good long. And then I would honestly, I would hold this all the way up to the equal highs. If it creates the fair value gap here. It is getting a little small for my liking, but that's still not bad. We need to see this hold, though. We got less than 2 minutes until this trade happens, so... If we do get this to hold, this inversion is created just like this. And we do, let's say we stab down here, consolidate for the next minute and a half, and then hold this and close above it. That's a good RR. And you could target this buy side, the top of the 5 minute if you want. You can target this buy side, but ultimately I think this is the draw today. And hopefully that happens before FOMC. I wouldn't be surprised if we get a big move before FOMC. Whoops. Wow, huge sell-off here. That is incredible. Okay, so this could be the start of the sell-off that we're getting today. And maybe this is going to be that the start to this trade down into this 50% discount range. We'll see, though. But you can see that we came down and we stopped out a lot of people who went short on this leg of price. So this could be a long, too. We'll see. Sorry, that went long on this leg of price. Everybody who just got stopped out on that wick. So if we do inverse this 2 minute and this 2 minute, I think we're going to go back up here. But ultimately, I'm looking at this 2 minute gap. That's going to be the A+ setup. And then you could target this high, again, this high, and then the equal highs. So we'll see what happens here. If we just completely disrespect this and go lower, obviously we're going to hit that 50% level first, or most likely. But right now, all that I'm seeing here is that everybody that went long on this breaker is now stopped out. And this is now the opportunity for the market to come back and reverse if it's going to. Again, doesn't mean it has to, but I'm just saying that if we do sweep this liquidity, which we just did, then that is the next excuse for the market to run higher without getting more pullbacks on the way. Yeah, there you go, Tristan. But we'll pay attention here, see what happens. I'm not rushing to take any trades just yet. You can see how incredible these new week opening gaps are, though, guys. We come up, test them, and then massive move down here. We are also filling this volume imbalance in the 5-minute, but I still think that there is a possibility we go higher first, and I'm hoping for that. I'm hoping to get this sweep during FOMC. Again, we'll be trading that live in the Discord. I'm hoping to get a sweep of that and then a dump down into this 50%. That would be so optimal. And I keep repeating myself because sometimes that just goes over people's heads. But you have to remember, guys, what are we looking for here? Relative equal highs. Where is our target? The 50% of the hourly leg. So if we can get a manipulation above the equal highs, above here, and then a massive rejection, even if you're short from here, you're looking at a almost 300-point move. That's wild. And it's right at the start of the 1050 macro that we're seeing this sell-off. Yeah, so we'll see what happens. Big sell-off here. Whew, this is incredible. Was not expecting this before FOMC. This just looks so engineered to me. But again, you could see where it happens from. New week opening gap. We also have our monthly open right here, just a heads up. So wouldn't be surprised if we end up going there. So that 1983 375. 83 350. Oh yeah. Okay, so there's the monthly open. Where we go from here, guys, I mean, we might get the 50% dump before FOMC, or we just consolidate and then we make the move at FOMC. To be honest, though, guys, I would have rather seen this first, but either way, we still should get a good trade. Huge jump there. What is the mean threshold of this 4-hour gap? That's another thing that we should pay attention to. So the mean threshold of the 4-hour gap is this right here, this dotted line. So right below that 50%. I think we get this, guys. I don't know if they're going to let it happen before FOMC. My guess, though, is that price consolidates in this general area, and then at FOMC, we dump and then go higher. That's what I'm hoping for. So we'll see if we get that. But I think I'm going to call it there. If you guys want a live trade in the Discord, guys, link is in the chat. I will start that live stream at 2 p.m. I wish you guys the best. Hope you have a successful trade during FOMC. And again, I've told you guys what I'm looking for. And if I see anything A+, I will execute. So I'll catch you guys in the Discord. Thanks for joining, and I will see you guys later today.